Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about a principle that can transform your life. It's a principle that moves you from frustration to fulfillment, from stagnation to growth. And that is, stop blaming others and start improving yourself. You see, it's easy to look at our circumstances and point fingers. If only they had treated me better. If only my boss understood my potential. If only I had more support. But can I tell you something? Blaming others may feel justified, but it keeps you stuck. Here's what I want you to understand. Every time you shift responsibility to someone else, you're giving away your power. When you say, it's their fault, you're saying, I can't change this. But when you take responsibility, when you look in the mirror and say, what can I do to improve? That's when transformation begins. The truth is, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We all have areas where we can grow. Instead of focusing on what others are doing wrong, start asking yourself, what can I do better? Maybe you can work on being more patient, more disciplined, or more intentional with your time. Friends, this is not about condemning yourself. It's about empowering yourself. When you take responsibility for your growth, you'll be amazed at how your life starts to change. Relationships get better, opportunities open up, and that heaviness of blame lifts off your shoulders. Think about a farmer. If the harvest doesn't come in as expected, he doesn't blame the soil or the rain. He adjusts. He plants better seeds, nurtures the land, and tries again. Your life is the same. If the results aren't what you hoped for, don't blame the conditions change the way you're sowing. Let me leave you with this. You were created to thrive. You have everything you need inside of you to succeed. But it starts with a choice to stop blaming others and start improving yourself. When you do that, you'll step into a life of greater peace, joy, and fulfillment than you ever imagined. So today, make the decision, no more excuses, no more blame. Take charge, grow, and become all that God has created you to be. Amen. Taking responsibility for your actions is one of the most liberating and transformative decisions you can make in life. It's not always easy to do, but it's a decision that sets you on the path to growth, maturity, and success. Many times we find ourselves in situations where it feels more natural to shift the blame onto someone else or to point fingers at circumstances. If only they had done this, or if only things had worked out differently, we tell ourselves. But the truth is, when we focus on what others did or didn't do, we give away our power to change. Every time you blame someone else for your setbacks or challenges, you're essentially handing over control of your life to them. You're saying, my happiness, my progress, and my success depend on someone else. But can I tell you, that's not how you were created to live. You were designed to grow, to rise above challenges, and to create a life of meaning and purpose. That begins when you take ownership of your life and say, I am responsible for my future. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're perfect or that you'll never make mistakes. We all have moments where we fall short or could have done better, but instead of dwelling on what went wrong or who's to blame, taking responsibility is about learning from those moments. It's about saying, what can I take away from this? How can I grow from this experience? When you adopt that mindset, every situation, no matter how difficult, becomes an opportunity for growth. When you shift your focus inward, something powerful happens. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the creator of your destiny. Instead of waiting for others to change, you begin changing yourself. You start asking, what can I do differently? How can I improve my skills, my attitude, or my approach? That shift doesn't just lead to personal growth. It also improves your relationships, your career, and your overall sense of fulfillment. Think about it this way. Imagine a farmer who plants seeds and doesn't get the harvest he expected. He doesn't sit around blaming the soil, the weather, or his neighbors. Instead, he examines what he can do better. Maybe he needs to use better seeds, water the crops more consistently, or protect them from pests. He adjusts, learns, and tries again. The same principle applies to our lives. If we don't see the results we hope for, it's not about blaming the conditions. It's about looking at what we can change or do differently. Taking responsibility also requires self-awareness. It's about looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself. It's not always comfortable to admit where you've fallen short, but it's necessary for growth. Maybe you've been holding on to a negative attitude or resisting change because it feels uncomfortable. Maybe you've been procrastinating or avoiding challenges because they seem too hard. Whatever it is, when you face it head on and take ownership of it, you open the door to transformation. This isn't about being hard on yourself or feeling guilty. It's about empowering yourself. When you stop blaming others and take responsibility for your life, you take back control. You realize that you're not at the mercy of other people's actions or external circumstances. You have the power to choose how you respond, how you grow, and how you move forward. One of the greatest benefits of taking responsibility is the peace it brings. Blaming others creates tension and frustration, but owning your part in a situation brings clarity and resolution. It allows you to let go of resentment and focus on what truly matters, your growth and your goals. You stop wasting energy on what you can't control and start investing it in what you can. This doesn't mean you ignore when others have wronged you or pretend everything is fine when it isn't. But it does mean you don't let their actions define your future. You choose to rise above it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Every step you take toward personal responsibility brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. You start to see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. You begin to realize that setbacks aren't permanent, they're just detours that can lead you to something greater if you let them. So today I encourage you to take a step back and reflect. Are there areas where you've been blaming others or focusing on things outside your control? What can you do to take ownership of those situations? Remember, you have the power to grow, to improve, and to create the life you want. It starts with a decision to stop blaming and start building. When you take that step, you'll discover a new level of freedom, strength, and fulfillment. You'll become the person you were created to be. Shifting your focus from other shortcomings to improving yourself is one of the most transformative choices you can make. It's easy to notice what others are doing wrong, where they've failed, or how they've fallen short of your expectations. We've all been there pointing out flaws, criticizing decisions, or wishing someone else would change to make things easier for us. But the truth is, focusing on others' weaknesses keeps you stuck. It distracts you from the real work of improving your own life. When you spend your energy analyzing someone else's mistakes, you're not using that energy to grow. You're not addressing the areas in your life where you could do better or focusing on the habits that would take you to the next level. You might feel justified in pointing out what someone else is doing wrong, but ask yourself, is that helping you move forward? Is it making you a better version of yourself? The reality is you can't change other people. No matter how much you point out their flaws or hope they'll improve, the only person you have control over is yourself. This doesn't mean you ignore bad behavior or accept being mistreated, but it does mean you don't let someone else's actions dictate your focus. Instead of saying, they need to change for this to work, start asking yourself, what can I do differently? How can I grow in this situation? When you shift your focus inward, you take back your power. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming a creator of possibilities. Maybe someone didn't treat you fairly or a situation didn't go as planned, but instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you can choose to learn from it. Ask yourself, what can I take away from this experience? How can I use this to become stronger, wiser, or more resilient? It's important to understand that personal growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You don't have to fix everything overnight. And you don't need to have it all figured out. But when you make the conscious decision to focus on your growth instead of others' flaws, you set yourself on a path of continuous improvement. Over time, those small, consistent changes add up to significant transformation. Think of it like running a race. If you spend all your time looking at the other runners, what they're doing, how fast they're going, or whether they're ahead or behind, you'll lose focus on your own pace. You'll waste energy and risk falling behind. But if you keep your eyes on your lane, concentrate on your stride, and push yourself to do your best, you'll cross the finish line stronger. Shifting your focus also brings a sense of peace. When you're constantly critiquing others, it creates tension and negativity. It's exhausting to carry around that kind of judgment. But when you let go of the need to control or fix others and instead focus on improving yourself, you free yourself from that weight. You start to see situations more clearly and respond with wisdom and grace. This isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing where to direct your energy. Instead of complaining about what someone else isn't doing, focus on what you can do. Instead of waiting for someone else to change, take the first step toward growth. That shift doesn't just help you, it sets an example for others. When people see you working on yourself, staying positive, and handling challenges with strength, it inspires them to do the same. This approach also builds confidence. The more you focus on improving yourself, the more you realize how capable you are. You start to see that you don't need to rely on others to create the life you want. You have the power to make changes, overcome obstacles, and achieve your goals. That sense of empowerment is life-changing. So today, make the decision to shift your focus. Let go of the urge to dwell on others' faults or wait for them to change. Instead, turn your attention inward. What can you do today to grow? What steps can you take to become a better version of yourself? Remember, you're not responsible for what others do, but you are responsible for your own growth. When you embrace that truth, you unlock your potential and step into a life of greater peace, joy, and success. Adopting a growth mindset is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your life. It's the ability to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Too often, people get stuck in a fixed mindset, believing that their abilities, intelligence, or circumstances are set in stone. They think this is just the way things are, or I'm not capable of changing this. But the truth is, you are capable of growth. And every setback or difficulty you face is an opportunity to move closer to your potential. A growth mindset begins with the understanding that failure isn't final. It's not a reflection of who you are or what you're capable of achieving. Instead, failure is feedback. It's a chance to learn what doesn't work so you can adjust and try again. When you view life through this lens, you stop fearing failure and start embracing it as part of the journey. You begin to ask, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this to get better? Think about a child learning to walk. They fall over and over again, but they don't give up. They don't think walking just isn't for me. Instead, they keep trying, adjusting their balance and building strength until they succeed. That same resilience is within you. No matter how many times you've fallen or how far you feel from your goals, you have the ability to get back up. Learn from the experience and keep moving forward. A growth mindset also means letting go of the need for perfection. Many people hold themselves back because they think they have to get everything right the first time. They fear making mistakes or looking foolish, so they don't take risks or try new things. But the reality is, growth happens outside your comfort zone. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, and it often involves making mistakes. But those mistakes are where the real learning happens. When you adopt a growth mindset, you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own progress. It's easy to look at someone else's success and feel discouraged, thinking, I'll never get there. But what you don't see are the countless hours of effort, failure, and growth that went into their journey. Instead of comparing, ask yourself, what can I do today to take a step forward? How can I improve just a little bit every day? This mindset shift isn't just about achieving goals. It's about changing the way you see yourself and your potential. When you believe that you can grow and improve, you unlock new levels of confidence and resilience. You start to see challenges as opportunities, not roadblocks. You begin to take ownership of your growth and realize that your potential is limitless. One of the keys to developing a growth mindset is surrounding yourself with the right influences. Spend time with people who encourage growth, who challenge you to be better, and who inspire you with their own stories of perseverance. Avoid those who constantly focus on limitations or try to pull you down. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your mindset, so choose wisely. Another important aspect of a growth mindset is being patient with yourself. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and it's not always a straight path. There will be times when you feel like you're making progress and other times when it feels like you're stuck. But as long as you're committed to learning and improving, you're moving in the right direction. Celebrate small victories along the way and remind yourself that every step forward is progress. Developing a growth mindset also requires self-awareness. Take time to reflect on your thoughts and beliefs. Are there areas where you've been holding yourself back because you think you're not capable? Are there challenges you've been avoiding because they seem too difficult? Be honest with yourself and start challenging those limiting beliefs. Replace them with thoughts like, I may not know how to do this yet, but I can learn. Or this is hard, but I'm getting stronger with every effort. When you adopt a growth mindset, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is limited by circumstances and start seeing yourself as someone who is constantly growing and evolving. You realize that your potential is not fixed. It's something you can expand every day through effort, learning, and perseverance. So wherever you are in your journey, remember this: you are capable of growth. You have the ability to learn, adapt, and overcome any challenge. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Embrace the process, trust yourself, and keep moving forward. With a growth mindset, there is no limit to what you can achieve. When you focus on self-improvement, you open the door to endless possibilities for growth and transformation. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances or other people for the challenges you face. We've all done it at some point, pointed the finger and said, if they hadn't done this or if things were different, I'd be further ahead. But the reality is, blaming others won't change your situation. It keeps you stuck, waiting for something outside of yourself to shift. True progress begins when you take ownership of your life and commit to becoming the best version of yourself. Self-improvement isn't about being perfect, it's about striving to grow a little each day. Every small step you take adds up over time and leads to significant change. It starts with a decision to look inward, to assess your habits, attitudes, and mindset, and to ask yourself, what can I do to become better? This decision is empowering because it shifts the focus away from things you can't control to the one thing you can: yourself. Taking responsibility for your growth doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or injustices you face. It means refusing to let them define you. Life isn't always fair, and there will be times when you're treated unfairly or face circumstances beyond your control. But you have the power to choose how you respond. You can let those challenges hold you back, or you can use them as fuel to grow stronger and more determined. When you focus on self-improvement, you stop waiting for others to change or for the perfect conditions to arrive. You realize that growth isn't about what happens around you, but what happens within you. You take charge of your habits, your thoughts, and your actions, knowing that these are the things that will shape your future. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Each step you take toward personal growth brings you closer to your goals and helps you become the person you were created to be. One of the most important aspects of self-improvement is self-awareness. Growth begins with an honest evaluation of where you are and where you want to be. It's about acknowledging your strengths while also recognizing the areas where you need to improve. This isn't about being hard on yourself or dwelling on your shortcomings. It's about being honest with yourself so you can take meaningful steps forward. Self-awareness also helps you identify the patterns and habits that are holding you back. Maybe you've developed a habit of procrastinating, or perhaps you've been avoiding difficult conversations because they make you uncomfortable. Whatever it is, becoming aware of these patterns is the first step toward breaking free from them. Once you're aware, you can begin to replace those habits with new ones that align with your goals and values. Another key to self-improvement is discipline. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires consistent effort. There will be days when it feels easier to stay where you are, to stick with old habits, or to give in to self-doubt. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward, even when it's hard. It's about showing up for yourself every day, even when you don't feel like it. Over time, those small disciplined actions add up and lead to big changes. As you focus on improving yourself, you'll notice that your perspective begins to shift. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming start to feel like opportunities. Setbacks become lessons and failures become stepping stones. You start to see that every experience, good or bad, is part of the process of growth. This perspective doesn't just help you grow, it also brings a sense of peace and resilience. Focusing on self-improvement also improves your relationships. When you take responsibility for your growth, you stop expecting others to meet all your needs or fix your problems. Instead, you bring your best self into your relationships, which inspires others to do the same. You become a source of positivity, strength, and encouragement, creating a ripple effect that impacts everyone around you. The journey of self-improvement isn't always easy, but it's one of the most rewarding journeys you can take. It's about committing to your growth, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. It's about believing in your potential and taking steps each day to become the person you were meant to be. So wherever you are today, know that you have the power to improve. You have the ability to grow, to overcome challenges, and to create the life you want. Don't wait for someone else to change or for the perfect moment to start. Begin now. Take ownership of your growth and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Taking accountability for your life is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. It means stepping away from the tendency to blame others or external circumstances for where you are, and instead choosing to take full responsibility for your actions, decisions, and outcomes. While it's natural to point fingers when things go wrong, doing so keeps you stuck. It hands your power over to other people or situations, making you feel like a victim. True growth begins when you take back that power and recognize that the key to changing your life lies within you. When you take accountability, you shift from a mindset of excuses to one of solutions. Instead of saying this happened because of someone else or I can't succeed because the odds are against me, you start asking, what can I do to change this? How can I take action to improve my situation? This shift in perspective is liberating because it puts you in control. You realize that while you can't always control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. Accountability isn't about blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong. It's about owning your part and focusing on what you can change. It's about looking at your habits, decisions, and attitudes with honesty and asking, what could I have done differently? What lessons can I take from this experience? This kind of self-reflection isn't always easy, but it's essential for growth. It allows you to identify areas where you need to improve and take steps to make those changes. One of the greatest benefits of taking accountability is the sense of empowerment it brings. When you stop blaming others, you free yourself from the frustration and negativity that often come with feeling like a victim. You start to see yourself as someone who is capable of overcoming challenges and creating a better future. This mindset doesn't just help you grow, it also builds your confidence. The more you take responsibility for your life, the more you realize how much control you have over your outcomes. Taking accountability also helps you develop resilience. Life is full of setbacks and unexpected challenges, but when you take responsibility, you learn to navigate those moments with strength and determination. You stop wasting energy on things you can't control and instead focus on what you can do to move forward. This resilience doesn't just help you bounce back from difficulties, it also prepares you for future challenges. You become more adaptable, more resourceful, and more determined to keep pushing forward no matter what comes your way. Another important aspect of accountability is its impact on relationships. When you take responsibility for your actions, you create a foundation of trust and respect. People are drawn to those who own their mistakes and strive to do better. They appreciate the honesty and humility that come with accountability. On the other hand, blaming others or refusing to take responsibility can strain relationships and create unnecessary conflict. When you choose accountability, you not only grow as an individual, but also strengthen your connections with others. Accountability also forces you to confront your excuses. It's easy to fall into the trap of saying, I don't have enough time or I'm not talented enough, but these excuses are often just barriers we put up to avoid stepping out of our comfort zones. When you take accountability, you stop making excuses and start finding solutions. You realize that you don't have to have all the answers right away, you just need to take the first step and keep moving forward. Taking responsibility for your life doesn't mean you won't make mistakes or face challenges. It doesn't mean you'll always have it all figured out. But it does mean that you'll approach each situation with a mindset of growth and improvement. You'll stop waiting for someone else to fix things for you or for circumstances to change, and you'll start taking action to create the life you want. Accountability is about progress, not perfection. It's about committing to your growth even when it's hard or uncomfortable. It's about being honest with yourself, learning from your experiences, and making the choice to keep moving forward. Each time you take responsibility for your actions, you take a step closer to becoming the person you want to be. No matter where you are today, it's never too late to take accountability for your life. You have the power to change your habits, your mindset, and your future. Don't let excuses or blame hold you back. Take responsibility, take action, and watch as your life begins to transform in ways you never thought possible. When you choose accountability, you choose growth, strength, and the freedom to create the life you were meant to live. When you commit to focusing on personal growth, you begin to shift the trajectory of your life in powerful ways. It's easy to get caught up in the habit of looking outward, focusing on what others are doing, or comparing your progress to theirs. But true transformation happens when you look inward and dedicate yourself to becoming the best version of yourself. This process isn't about competition or proving your worth to others. It's about unlocking your potential and taking steps each day to grow into the person you were meant to be. Focusing on personal growth means taking ownership of your journey. It's recognizing that your life is your responsibility and no one else can do the work for you. While circumstances, opportunities, or even setbacks may influence your path, they don't define your potential. What matters most is how you choose to respond. Personal growth starts with the decision to stop waiting for someone or something to change your situation and to start taking action to create the future you want. This journey requires self-awareness, which is the foundation for meaningful growth. You must be willing to take an honest look at yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits, and your mindset. It's not about criticizing yourself or focusing on your flaws, but understanding where you stand and where you want to go. Self-awareness allows you to identify the patterns and beliefs that may be holding you back so you can begin to change them. Growth isn't always comfortable. In fact, it often involves stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing challenges. Many people resist this because change feels risky or uncertain. But the truth is, growth happens in those moments of discomfort. It's when you try something new, face a fear, or push through resistance that you discover your strength and resilience. Each time you stretch beyond what feels safe, you expand your capacity and build confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. A key part of focusing on personal growth is setting clear goals and intentions. Without a sense of direction, it's easy to feel lost or unmotivated. Goals give you something to work toward and help you measure your progress. But these goals don't have to be grand or overwhelming. Even small incremental steps can lead to significant change over time. The important thing is to stay consistent and committed, trusting that each effort is bringing you closer to your potential. Discipline is another essential ingredient in personal growth. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it often requires sustained effort over time. There will be days when it feels easier to give up or revert to old habits, but discipline helps you stay the course. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when it's hard or inconvenient. Over time, these disciplined actions become habits, and those habits create the foundation for lasting change. Focusing on personal growth also means letting go of comparison. It's tempting to look at others and feel like you're falling behind or not doing enough. But comparison steals your joy, distracts you from your own journey. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and remind yourself that growth is a personal and unique journey. Another crucial aspect of personal growth is embracing a mindset of continuous learning. Life is full of opportunities to gain knowledge and develop new skills, but it's up to you to take advantage of them. Whether it's reading books, seeking mentorship, attending workshops, or simply being open to feedback, learning allows you to keep evolving. It's not about knowing everything, it's about staying curious and committed to growth, no matter where you are in your journey. Personal growth also involves surrounding yourself with the right influences. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, and the environments you immerse yourself in all shape your mindset and attitudes. Choose to surround yourself with individuals who inspire and challenge you to be better. Seek out positive influences that encourage your growth and help you stay focused on your goals. This journey isn't about perfection, it's about progress. There will be setbacks and moments of doubt, but those are part of the process. What matters is that you keep moving forward, learning from your experiences and adjusting your approach as needed. Growth is a lifelong journey, and each step you take brings you closer to the person you were created to be. No matter where you are right now, you have the power to grow. You have the ability to learn, to change, and to create a life that reflects your potential. Don't let fear, doubt, or comparison hold you back. Commit to your personal growth, stay consistent in your efforts, and trust that every small step you take is leading you toward a brighter and more fulfilling future. In the end, the power to transform your life lies entirely within you. Blaming others or waiting for circumstances to change will only keep you stuck, but taking responsibility and focusing on your growth will set you free. Embrace the journey of self-improvement with humility, courage, and discipline, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your potential. Recognize that challenges are not barriers, but opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Choose to live with self-awareness, align your actions with your values, and commit to becoming the best version of yourself. This isn't about perfection or competing with others. It's about progress, resilience, and unlocking the greatness already inside you. As you take ownership of your journey and embrace a mindset of growth, you'll not only transform your own life, but inspire those around you to rise higher as well. Remember, the key to your future is not in someone else's hands, it's in your own. Choose today to take charge, improve yourself, and create a life of purpose, strength, and fulfillment. The best is yet to come.